Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Trails to Azure part 54. In the previous video we finished up our first full day of chapter 4 and bid goodbye to Noelle for now. I have a feeling she'll come back, but I guess we don't necessarily know that. I'm just assuming she's going to come back for at least in some capacity. Also, Crossbell declared independence. We flashed forward a little bit and we got a little news flash to read. The state election board announced that 90% of eligible voters submitted a ballot in the referendum. 70% of votes cast were in favor of independence. The high voter turnout can be attributed to the anguish inflicted by the raid on Crossbell City. Many voters suspect that the attacks could have been perpetuated by the Empire or Republic. This attitude reflects the average Crossbellian's dissatisfaction with the status quo that has been in place for the past 70 years. Concerning this result, the referendum held was designed to ascertain the average Crossbellian's perspective on the matter. However, after counting the ballot, something exceptional occurred. Despite the cautious stances of many Diet members, Mayor Croyce ignored each and every one of them and declared independence unilaterally. This unprecedented move is bound to have major ramifications in Crossbell's relations to its neighboring countries. Mayor Croyce declares independence. In a press conference yesterday, Crossbell City Mayor Dieter Croyce declared independence on the behalf of Crossbell citizens. The mayor stated this was an official international proclamation, and henceforth this land would be known as the independent state of Crossbell. Mayor Croyce then outlined the changes that would need to be made to submit Crossbell as an independent nation. First, the creation of a state constitution. Next, the abolition of the state's subservient relationship with the Empire and Republic. This includes the repeal of 10% revenue collected by these nations. Finally, the formation of the Crossbell Defense Force. This organization will unify the police and the CGF, taking over the responsibilities of keeping the peace and maintaining national security. Following the listing of these measures, Mayor Croyce said the state government, soon to be independent state government, will be enacting these changes within the coming month. As for the declaration itself, even those well versed in the politics were taken off guard by the suddenness of the move, calling it an unusually quick development. Apparently, the mayor went against the cautious advice of Speaker McDowell when pushing this decision. It will likely be a while until all facets of this unprecedented declaration are made clear. What of other countries' reactions? Both the Imperial and Republican governments, the current suzerains, you know the word, of Crossbell issued their statements on the day of the declaration, rejecting the bid for independence. The land of Crossbell State has also always been a part of the Republic's territory, proclaimed the Republican government. Under this framework, Calvert rebukes the declaration as a matter of course. Queen Alicia II of Lirel weighed in, saying that while the common will of the people should be respected, the declaration of independence happened far too hastily. The Principality of Remiferia issued a similar statement while requesting further elaboration of the facts. It seems kind of bad. Those are our only real allies. Meanwhile, the holy city of Arteria has opted not to make a formal statement. A nation is not made in a single day, said a bewildered public relations staffer within Crossbell City. Despite the widespread confusion caused by the announcement, many citizens are welcoming the change with open arms. Others aren't so sure, saying things like, I only voted for it because I thought this vote was just gauging interest. The prevailing theme throughout this entire story is the unambiguous or ubiquitous confusion felt by everyone involved. That said, if Crossbell truly is set upon the path to independence, this is merely the beginning of troubles our fair state will face. So, while I was reading this, something popped into my head. Is Mayor Croyce evil? Because this seems like not a good move, and it seems to be in line with what Ouroboros, or because we feel like Crossbell is being pushed to declare independence, right? Based on the Revanche raid, which we have reason to believe is not actually the cause of the Empire. And even if it was the Empire doing something that direct, just doesn't really make any sense. It's almost like they're forcing because I mean, it was very much known that like that was going to like inflame independence. Obviously, we know Mariabel's kind of suspicious. And so, I mean, if she's suspicious, then we kind of have to have some reason to believe that Deeser's also a little suspicious. And this just feels like way, way over the top. Like, it's basically put Crossbell in a significantly worse position. Like, even our allies or, potential allies are like, yo, dog, that's fucking weird. So it's almost like you're putting Crossbell in a situation where you're kind of like forcing a conflict between Ereboni and Calvert, which maybe that's the ultimate goal that's looking for here, is to basically dismantle any sort of peace created by the non-aggression pact and cause a major war again, like in Crossbell, just to cause like disarray within Erebonia and Calvard. So Dieter Croix just like went so far up the sus meter in my mind. Like he was very low, and now he's like at the top. Okay, breaking news. Mayor Croix declares asset freeze. Today, Mayor Croix held an emergency press conference at Orkios Tower to announce a freeze on all foreign assets held by the IBC. Yeah, this man's trying to get us invaded. The freeze will remain in place until Crossbell's independence is acknowledged internationally. This sudden declaration seems to indicate that the mayor, who also happens to be IBC's CEO, is willing to exert his influence on foreign economies despite lacking the domestic authority to do so. Due to the hasty nature of the conference, further details remain unknown. For the seizure of funds, the IBC managed the majority of the continent's financial assets. This sudden freeze of said assets has caused markets across Zemuria to plummet in response to the announcement. There are also reports of mass hysteria in the Republican Stock Exchange. We reached out to experts to comment on how the international economy will be impacted. For now, the future is uncertain, said one economist. A diplomat explained, "We want to be absolutely sure of the extent of the freeze before taking further action." According to a new report, both Erebonia and Calvert have held press conferences on the recent financial crisis. The government demands the Crossbell State and the IBC revoke the asset freeze immediately. Failure to do so will be met with force, stated a press official from the Republican government. Our sources claim the imperial government has already begun mobilizing its army. It's possible these press conferences are meant to serve as an ultimatum. We will follow up on this story as we receive official communications. Okay, so Mayor Croix is evil. 100%. 99%. 101%. No backdowns. He played his card. We know he's bad.
こりゃとんでもないことになったな。
正直考えられないくらいの展開の速さだわ。おじいさまにも確認しようと思ったのだけど、昨日から連絡がつかないし、課長も朝早くに本部に出かけたきり帰ってきませんね。国防軍という組織について確認しに行ったんでしょうか。
I just see no reason for him to suddenly, like, I mean, he's been a little rash, but this is such a big shift in, like, personality, and it's so aggressive that, I mean, he's clearly placing the country in danger. Like, the country is put in, like, such a worse position by these actions that I cannot see Dieter Croix as, like, a good guy anymore. Like, not just like in the sense of like, oh, he's incompetent, like he's actively malicious. I probably should have suspected him more after the Mario Bell stuff, but I was too focused on her. But I think it's both of them.
ノエルやミレイユたちの方はどうしてんだ。
現在警備隊方面とは連絡がつかなくなっていますね。
God, now I gotta think back and like analyze his actions from the first game. Was there anything suspicious he did there?
おそらく問い合わせが多すぎて情報を遮断しているのではないかと。無理もないわ。この資産凍結にしても帝国や共和国が黙っているはずがないし。
Yeah, now it's gone from like the narrative has shifted from like, hey, look at these, you know, Erebonia and Calvert are like trying to enforce their will on Crossbell. Now it's like Crossbell's fucking with their economies. So I mean, they actually have a justified excuse to invade now.
実力行使も辞さない。国境方面が心配だな。ごめん。不安にさせちゃったか。
Also, where's Wazi?
大変なことが起きてるのはキーヤにだってわかるし、それよりワジ朝から見かけないね。
ああ、そういえば。
あ、ワジさんなら野暮用で出かけるって言
Yo,
ってました。
Wazi better not have abandoned me, man.
課長が出た後だったと思います。
そうなのか。
This track's also really good.
もうこんな時にちょっと感心しないわね。
It's maybe a little too intense for this like casual conversation, but probably the
こんな
chief.
時に
誰だ。
はい。どちら様ですか。
よかった。
Oh,
いてくれたみたいね。
why are you here?
私を セシルだけど。
A little worrying.
セシルね。
あ、セシルだ。
セシルさん、どうなさったんですか？
ここに来てくれるなんて珍しいっすね。
Yeah, that's why we think it's serious.
ごめんなさい、いきなり訪ねてしまって。アリオスさんとかこちらに来たりしていないわよね。
アリオスさん。
来ていませんが、どういうことでしょう？
それが昨べ夜遅くに病院に来てしずくちゃんを連れて行ったの。
Okay, that is weird.
その場で退院の手続きもしてしまって。
それって
しずくが。それでどういう事情なのか確かめに来たのだけど、ギルドのミシェルさんも全く心当たりがないみたいで、それで念のためあなたたちのところも訪ねてみたの。
そうだったのか。
あのおっさん、なんだってそんなことを。
夜遅くというのも普通ではない気がします。
Yeah, I can't think of no immediate explanation pops into mind.
エニグマじゃねえってことは課長じゃなさそうだが。
まさかアリオスさん関係とか？
はい、こちらクロスベル警察特務支援課。
よかった、ロイド君そこにいたのね。
通話設定はスピーカーになっていたみたいですね。この声、グレイスさん？
そうみてえだな。
グレイスさん、どうしたんですか？
Don't really like everybody beating down the door of the SSS building all of a sudden.
どうしたもこうしたもあなたたちにも教えとこうと思って。さっきオルキスタワーからとんでもない通達があったのよ。
Has an invasion started?
どうやらディーター市長がクロスベル独立国の初代大統領に就
Yeah,
任したらしいわ。
mega evil.
初代大統領？
I mean, if we start looking at this from the perspective of like Dieter Kroos being like a mastermind from the start, could that be the whole point of the cult incident? To wipe out so much of the Diet and pave his way to become mayor? I mean, that kind of makes sense. I kind of remember, like, I wasn't really on board with him becoming mayor all of a sudden in the first game, because he didn't really, the whole idea of, someone with like no real experience in the arena whatsoever, and someone who has like such important duties running another facility that's not going to be fully focused on it was a problem, but I didn't really think he was going to turn out to be, this.
大統領っておじさまが？
おいおい、何の冗談だよそりゃ。
私だって最初は冗談だと思ったわよ。でもその通達をしてきたのが白い軍服を着た兵士で、発表されたばかりの国防軍って名乗ったわよ。
本当ですか？
兵士ってことはまさか。
ええ、多分警備隊のメンバーなんでしょうけど、それと驚かないでね。
I guess Noel's going to be coming back because the CGF doesn't exist anymore.
就任直後にディーター大統領が国防長官の任命を行ったの。それも
Whoa.
アリオスさんに。
That's interesting. I kind of expected it to be someone shady, but... if I'm being honest, Arios is way more useful to the state running around killing monsters and being able to, like, actively be in, like, battles and stuff.
それってアリオスさん。
But that doesn't explain why he would remove Shizuku from the hospital. Oh, you think maybe the Croix gave him like an ultimatum or something, like become my Secretary of Defense and I'll be able to do some like secret experimental treatment on Shizuku at Orkios Tower using all his money? Or maybe even like, we don't necessarily know. And then there could be like an Ouroboros connection there as well. I don't know. I don't know if Croix is acting on his own or not.
ちょうどこれから大統領の就任演説が始まるらしいわ。動力ネットでも配信するみたいだから、よかったら見ておきなさい。
クレイ先輩、なんとか取材許可が下りました。
よっしゃ、レインズ君でかしたわ。ごめん、これから就任演説の取材なの。それじゃあまたね。
今のは
I mean, shit just got real, like real fast.
わからないけど、あのアリオスさんが国防長官。
長官ということは国防軍のトップ。
ありえねえだろう。
I can't think of, there's no reason he would leave unless it was something to do with Shizuku, right? So it was probably a situation like that where he's maybe not necessarily blackmailed, but he's got like an offer he can't refuse in that regard. He has a chance to maybe finally, you know, cure Shizuku.
とにかく端末で就任演説を見てみましょう。
And I guess Dieter probably needs like a big public, like, you know, famous figure to kind of make this not look like a complete power grab.
ああ、
Like Arios kind of lends this some legitimacy.
Minasan, ごきげんよう。この度、クロスベル独立国の初代大統領に就任したディーター・クロイスであります。
You can't call yourself a president if you're not voted for, you little. I mean, I guess technically you're voted for mayor, but that doesn't count.
ですが現在、クロスベル未曾有の危機が迫っています。正義を踏みにじり、我々の尊厳を奪い取ろうとする。じゃあ、
Oh, my bad. I accidentally hit the button.
その
My finger slipped.
つい先日もこのクロスベルを恐怖と悲しみのどん底に叩き落としました。聡明な市民諸君ならばうすうす気づかれていると思いますが、私はあえて今日この場でその勢力を名指しで弾劾しましょう。エレボニア帝国政府。
Yeah, I mean, I just...
その邪悪な意志の一つです。
It just doesn't, the motive makes no sense.
もちろんお気づきの通り、邪悪な意志は一つではありません。
Oh, is he gonna accuse both of them?
カルバード共和国政府。狡猾な犯罪組織と手を結んでいた彼らもまたクロスベルの平和と尊厳を踏みに
Because
じろ
he's
う
not
としている
accusing
のです。
Calvert directly of being behind the attack, but just of, being bad people? With their Hey You stuff?
彼らは長年にわたりこのクロスベルを自分たちの属州として扱ってきました。彼らがどんな犯罪を犯しても我々に追及する権利はありません。
So thinking on also on a deeper level, because while this is all going on, there's still the supernatural element of the flowers, right? And the talk about like summoning the beasts or whatever, kind of. I can't remember the exact like phrases that were done, but do you think maybe the idea is to get Erebonia and Calvert engaged in a war in Crossbell, and then have the flowers just envelop the entire state in monsters and decimate the armies, maybe?
そして今もなお豊かな税収をかすめ取られる形で我々は搾取され続けているのです。
I mean, to be fair, 10% is not like an obscenely high.
ですがそれだけではありません。
Now, paying 10% for essentially nothing does suck, but, you know, come on. Let's use our word choice better.
我々は生命の危険すら脅かされてきたのです。
Oh, look, a rich billionaire complains about taxes. Oh, more news at 11.
この地が彼らの覇 皆さんもよくご存知でしょう。あくまで昔の話。いいえ、とんでもありません。近年幾度となく起きていた不可解で謎めいた事故。それは爆発事故であったり飛行船の落下事故であったりとさまざまな形をとっていましたが、だが我々はどこかで気づいていたはずだ。原因不明で泣き寝入りするしかなかったそれらの事故が彼らの安闘の結果であることを。
And they made new uniforms and everything? For everyone?
その意味で我々は等しくエイドスの前に罪を背負っている。欺瞞と強度、それがその罪の名であろう。過去犠牲になった魂に報いるためにも、そして先日の襲撃によって傷ついた人々に報いるためにも、我々の子供たちに平和で誇り高き未来を届けるためにも。
Now, do you think it's even possible that Krois is the one behind the raid? I feel like that's also a possibility. Like, because if his goal is to get Crossbell to be independent so he can be president, and then, you know, we know that is at least his goal. Now, whether or not how much it extends past that, we don't yet know. But I think Krois could be the one behind. That still doesn't explain the stealing of the bell, because I can't imagine. Like, I don't know why he would know about the bell. I mean, it's possible, but we don't really know what the end goal of there is. Because, I mean, I'm assuming you ring the bells, a bunch of monsters show up in the state, basically. Or, like, it causes the Poroma grass to, like, grow out of control and spawn monsters everywhere.
今こそ我々は欺瞞と強打を捨て、誇りと勇気を持って立ち上がらなくてはならない。
むちゃくちゃだ。
I mean, we haven't seen you in a long time, dude.
だが確かにそう正されるとピーター君。
Especially the fact that he, like, you know, the fact that Mayor McDowell is not on it at all. Because he's the way more sensible of the ones, so he has, like, the best interest of the state at heart. So the fact that he's against this definitely makes me, like, feel way more confident in this Krois' evil bit. And honestly, like, the more I think about it, like, it really makes a lot of sense. Like, him being evil would explain a lot of, like, past actions in the game.
無論これはあくまで迫り来る危機に対処するための暫定的な処置に過ぎない。いずれ平和を取り戻した暁には選挙という形で
Oh, yeah.
民意に問うことを
The classic.
この場でお約束させていただく。
Guys, we can't have, like, elections now, but, like, in the future, totally, you'll get to vote. It'll be a free and fair election. Come on, shut up. Stop asking questions. To the gulag you go.
そしてもう一人、諸君もよく知るこの人物が新生クロスベル独立国に協力してくれることとなった。
I'm pretty disappointed in Arios for, you know, legitimizing Krois here. I mean, I understand it. I mean, assuming that there's Shizuku's involved in this, which he has to be. It's the only explanation that makes any sense, but... Or that, you know, he's doing this for a potential cure for Shizuku.
先のクロスベル市襲撃において獅子奮陣の働きでオルキスタワーを死守してくれた人物、風の剣聖の名で知られる遊撃士協会クロスベル支部に所属していた元永久遊撃士クロスベル国防軍司令長官。
ご紹介に預かったアリオス・マクレインです。未だ若輩者ゆえ不安に感じられる方々もいらっしゃるかもしれません。ですが遊撃士の時以上の働きでいかなる脅威も退けることをお約束しましょう。クロスベルを守り抜く盾として、そして 正義と平和を脅かす全ての敵を打ち破る剣として。
I mean, I guess if he's planning to get down and dirty, I mean that is technically good because it would allow him to actually fight the invaders where he wouldn't have been able to do that as a bracer, but.
実はアリオス長官はかつては優秀な捜査官としてクロスベル警察にも所属していた。そしてギルドではご存知のように国際的な案件を数多く解決してきた素晴らしい実績を持っている。その意味で決して見当外れな人事ではないということを改めて保証させていただこう。
I mean, he's basically being given like an impossible job, right? Like the only way Crossbell, I think, could have like legitimately acquired independence and maybe even won a war would be with foreign support, right? If they were legitimized by, like Arteria, and then maybe we're able to get some, amount of like financial, like weapons and stuff from Librel or something. But like the way they've declared independence with absolutely no allies whatsoever is like basically just dooming them to fail.
お父さん、どうし
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done talking, Shizuku, but the reaction's pretty much what I expected, that he's not on board.
はい、ロイドです。
ああ、俺だ。
課長、今の就任演説は
当然見ていた。ま、是非はともかく警備隊は国防軍として完全に再編成されたようだ。俺たち警察もその一部として組み込まれることが。
Isn't Crossbell Defense Force just an objectively worse name than Crossbell Guardian Force? Guardian Force sounds so much cooler.
そんな。ひょっとしてソーニャ司令も。
映像に映ってただろう。ま、了承したんだろう。
Yeah, that's a little odd. I noticed she was up there too.
どうなるかわからんが、今はオルキスタワーには近づかないようにしておけ。
Because I mean, she has to know this is a fruitless endeavor, right?
国防軍の兵士たちが厳重に警備しているはずだ。
了解しました。
I mean, really, the only kind of potential card Crossbell has here is the freezing of assets, right?
また連絡する。あんま先走るんじゃねえぞ。
課長はなんと。
ああ、国防軍だけど。
Like, that destabilizes the economies of the countries. That might, like, inhibit their ability to wage a prolonged war, but then the question is, can Crossbell actually turn this into a prolonged war with no support? Seems unlikely, but well, it explain the details of their conversation.
ソーニャ司令があっち側に回ったのかよ。
まあ立場からすると仕方のないことかと。
アリオスさん、しずくちゃんを連れて行ったのはこのことが原因だったのね。
そうですね。あんな立場になってしまったらしずくちゃんにも影響が。
反対派に狙われる可能性とか出てくるかもしれねえしな。
この状況ですとないとは言い切れないかと。
Yeah, I don't think it's that simple. I think it has to do, it's probably something to do with like curing Shizuku, right? Because I just can't think of why Arius would take this position, normally. Like without some extra incentive or like blackmail is not really the right word for what it is, but
キーヤ、大丈夫だ。しずくちゃんに危険が及ばないよう、アリオスさんも考えてるはずさ。
そうだね。ちょっと心配だけど。キーヤちゃん。
セシルね、悪いんだけど、ちょっと留守番を頼めないかな。
ライド？ええ、夕方までなら大丈夫だと思うけど。どこかに出かけるの？
ああ。なあみんな。とりあえずギルドを訪ねてみないか。
それもそうね。確かにアリオスさんの件は事情をお聞きしたいです。
だな。 さすがに寝耳に水だぜ。
分かったわ。キーヤちゃんと一緒にここで留守番しているから大変な状況みたいだけど、くれぐれも気をつけてね。無茶だけはしないこと。
ああ、分かってる。
セシルさん、感謝っす。
それではお願いします。
キーヤ、セシルさんと一緒にいい子でお留守番しててください。
Asking for a friend, could I save the game instead of running out of the building to the Bracer Guild?
キーヤちゃん。
Oh, Kia, what are you doing, girl?
キヤ。お、
キーヤ、どうしたの？
確かに色々起きてるが、心配することはねえんだぞ。
大丈夫だ、キーヤ。確かにこの先クロスベルがどうなるかわからない状況だけど、俺たちがいつだってキーヤの元に帰ってくるのは絶対に変わらないからさ。
ライド、そうですね。
前に俺たちが出かけた時もちゃんと帰ってきただろ。
だからキーヤちゃん、安心して待っててちょうだい。
エリー、ティオ、ランディ。みんな気をつけてね。
Ozzy has left the party? Friggin' Ellie, I don't want to upgrade your ornaments. Friggin' Wazzy, stupid piece of garbage. We're gonna pause here for a second, and I will be right back. Alright, we're back. Lloyd has flexed his Time Lord powers. We're back in time on the previous day of the chapter. Immediately after I finished recording the last video, I alt-tabbed out for a second and noticed I'd received a comment talking about a hidden quest on day 1 of chapter 4 involving, apparently you have to talk to these guys, and then we should get something that'll let us get a quest. Treating outpatients will be difficult without proper medical supplies. I suppose it falls on my shoulder to contact the supplier and explain what happened. I don't know if we have to, like, talk to all of them, or expecting a package of medical supplies to be delivered by Rhymes Delivery, but it's not here yet. Maybe there's some kind of delay. Because I always forget about this section of the hospital. It's so freaking hidden. I mean, it's really not, but I just always forget to come over here. I have Moran's to do in the ICU and research work, because I also forgot to check the second floor of the hospital entirely when we were leaving. Nothing really super important. It's just some of the various members of the CPD and, the Saber Vipers, but the Saber Vipers are unconscious, so there's no real dialogue there. Both my legs are broken during the attack, so I think it's like if we leave, we should get like a phone call or something. Maybe. Wait, oh yeah, I think we have to go to the airport, which I think has to do with this suspicious vehicle. Maybe. Or not. Oh, we can go to the airport now, and we couldn't go to the airport earlier, I don't think. Oh man, what am I going to do? Because I'm pretty sure I tried to go to the airport earlier, but so that's like unbelievably hidden. You have to, like, know to talk to individuals in a secret, well, not a secret part of the hospital, but like a less visited part of the hospital. I mean, there are some hints for it, the vehicle being there. But if you try and go to the airport, it doesn't let you earlier, I'm pretty sure, because I want to say I tried to come in here because of the vehicle, but if only I'd been more careful, this never would have happened. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do this quest, and then I will just do the Yona dungeon and that whole, like, story sequence again, just off-screen, like, after this video's over. If only I'd been more careful, this never would have happened. Excuse us, is everything alright? Oh, you guys, the SSS. Actually, something terrible's happened. What's up, Bilster? Today I was supposed to deliver some Remiferian medical supplies to St. Ursula Hospital, but some guy swiped them before I could even get them. Someone stole the supplies? Just a while ago, a man claiming to be from a shipping company came here. He had this whole story about how he'd be transferring the supplies in place of Rhymes Delivery. He seemed to be completely legit, like fake papers and everything, so I gave him the packages without a second thought. However, we were never set up on an arrangement like that. It wasn't until I arrived and we started talking that we realized what had happened. So the supposed arrangement was entirely falsified. Whoever is stealing medical supplies at a time like this must be a real slimeball. Oh, Wazzy, why did you leave me? There are so many people in the hospital because of the raid. Oh yeah, I guess Noelle left too, but, you know, it's not, I don't care about her as much as Wazzy. I mean, that's not really true. Noelle's a good character, but she's not part of the main party, so her absence isn't as felt, in that regard. And that's exactly why supplies like that will fetch a pretty mirror on the black market. Our cook's a sneaky mirror-grubbing thief. That's despicable. This is so not good. San Rosa's waiting for the supplies to arrive. It's all my fault. If only I'd contacted Rhyme's delivery. Please don't blame yourself. In the end, the crook is the one we should be mad at. Wait a minute, would you guys be able to go after this guy and get the supplies back? Please, I'm begging you, do whatever you can to get those folks get those supplies to the folks at St. Ursula who need them. Not much time has passed since the incident occurred. If we hurry, we still have a chance to catch up. Please leave this case to us. You guys, we owe you a big one. The perpetrator already has a head start on us. We'll have to hurry if we want to catch up. Do we have any clues to where he might be heading? I never saw him myself, so I couldn't say. Let's see, he was driving a black Renford-made Orbital truck. Judging by his gaudy clothes, he could have been Erebonian. Our perp might be still trying to slip back into the Empire. If that's the case, they could be near Belgard Gate by now. And just in case, we should see what information we can gather about the vehicle along their escape route. We have to be quick about it, though. We got no time to waste, so let's chase immediately. Billy, Ricardo, please wait here for us to contact you again. Understood. Good luck, everyone. Librel and Remy Ferry are both supporting the restoration of Crossbell City. Man, it feels like we're back in simpler times. Rumor has it the raid of the city was actually an act of Imperial subterfuge. There's no definitive proof, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Which is how you know you're being misled! Now that the city is mostly back to normal, I've decided to go abroad with my family for a while. I'm sure I'll be safe up in Remy Ferry with my parents. District in Remy Ferry, caught in civil war! Ah! I was not prepared for this sudden trip. My husband has a point though. It's been dangerous around here lately. I get to ride an airship! I can't wait! Take a whole bunch of pictures from up in the clouds. So yeah, let's go to, I guess we want to talk to people. You said on the escape route? They're going to Belgard, so they would be on West Street. Anybody got any deets? About a vehicle? I mean, you said... Like, do I just want to go straight to Belgard, or do I need to encounter something beforehand? Right, and the city has heightened major powers. Well, what does it say? Need to hurry. It might be wise to speak to some people here before we begin our chase. And we'll check the gate real quick, but... That black truck was headed for the Empire. It should be around here. The truck in question does not appear to be here. Perhaps we should ask around and see what the guardsmen know? Maybe we should. Oh, what's up, girlie? Is this why you only had like 2 lines of dialogue when we came here earlier? Hey, what are you doing here? You had to save your dialogue for this quest? What's up, Muriel? Good to see you, Second Lieutenant. Same to you. But really, what are you all doing here for today? Someone's looking haggard. Sorry, it's just things are teetering on the brink here due to the pressure from the Empire. On top of that, Tangram Gate just went through some kind of disturbance. Tangram? What happened? A Renford-made truck plowed through the checkpoint without finishing its exit paperwork. I think enough of it was completed that it won't cause too much trouble. It's still a terrible look for the CGF while we're under a major powers microscope. Why the look? Well, it's just... You don't think we went to the wrong place after all. I think I was probably halfway to the Eastern Quarter by now. What? I talked to people on West Street! Oh my god, that's so stupid. Okay, we'll reload. That's a little dumb. If I'm being completely honest. It's just like, hey, you listen to what the game... I mean, I know it did say talk to people, but... I mean, okay, oh yeah, talk to everyone in the entire fucking city. Yeah, okay. Like, I've already done that. I can't keep doing that over and over again. It's an unreasonable thing to expect the player to do. And then, I mean, I don't know, whatever. I mean, do you say anything? You don't, and then, not even like the people on East Street say anything. Even if I thought to come to East Street, there's no hints here. That's so dumb. Anyone see the black truck? No, it's not on this. If it tells me to go to Belgrade, I'm fucking... I could already be inside filling out the exit paperwork. Let's hope so. It'd take time, but we probably lost a little by taking the bus. It would take time, but we probably lost a little by taking the bus? What are you talking about? How do we lose time by taking the bus? If it fails me because we were supposed to... Oh my fucking god. We're supposed to use our own car? We gotta report this to Deputy Commander Douglas. No. You lose time by taking the bus. What? This is... Yeah, it's so much quicker to go all the way over to our garage. And then if it fails me again, I'm like... Like, how is the car faster? It doesn't even make any sense. I'm in the clear now that... Oh, it's Mineth. All I know to do is gotta sell these supplies, and now I'm like so fucking mad. Those Remy Fury and make goods ought to turn a pretty mirror. Not on our watch. You! Mineth, we should have known this was your doing. I have reason to believe you're responsible for the theft of the medical supplies at the airport. I'm gonna have to ask you to show us your luggage. I've been far too careless. You got that right. Compared to the webs you were leaving in Armorica, this just lacks imagination. Because of you kids that my scheme in Armorica fell through, and I ended up on a wanted list. Thought the pocket change you're gonna squeeze from this job, my business would go under. As if. We know you got a crazier motive than that. You've been peddling crash and sucking up to the Red Constellation. Now because of that stunt they pulled in the city, you're turning tail and running for the hills, right? You got quite the imagination, boy. Time is of the essence. I suggest we make the arrest now and sort it out later. I agree, that's our best option. My, what a scary bunch you are, nothing more than a bunch of savage brutes. In that case, I cordially invite you to eat my dust! Oh, is that why you need the car? I mean, it's still really dumb. At least there's an explanation for it. Now, if the quest was done well, it would say something about, like, if you try and use the bus, Lloyd would be like, hey, if we're going to like, it would recognize that you have that quest, and if you're taking the bus to Tangram, there would be a warning that says, the car will be faster, we might not make it there in time. And also, I mean, there's no hints to know that you're supposed to go to Tangram. I mean, there's maybe like one NPC that tells you, but, you know, doing a cursory check through the East Street, no one mentions anything about a vehicle. I guess maybe those guys standing next to where the truck used to be would have said something. My thought process was more that, like, wouldn't people on East Street notice a truck speeding as it left the city or something? Not good. Those grenades aren't going to let us get any closer. That's a problem. This were entirely up to driving ability. There's no way to be able to pull away. This way he can make it to LTO. That would complicate things. Right, it'd be out of our jurisdiction if you managed to escape the state. Don't like the sound of that. Neither do I. That's why we gotta catch up to him. Step on it, Noel. Don't let him get away. Yes, sir. Oh? What? Is that a lance? That was... I mean, that looked like a lance. What's going on? There's some kind of large impact just now. I mean, the only person we know with a lance is Chickadee, and why would she, A, be here, B, help us? Well, what just happened? I'm not entirely sure myself. I think it's time for you to surrender. There's nowhere left to run. Oh, Cougar time? Fine, looks like the goddess really has forsaken me. Still, it wouldn't be myself if I didn't find some way to still turn a profit. I'll recoup my losses by dragging you to Gehenna with me. Only 5? Okay. Red Constellation's Cougars. I mean, if they get a back attack, they have a chance to, like, just stun lock us to death, which could be a problem. Die, you cretins. Fill their bellies. Here they come. Counterattack. Okay, it's not an actual back attack, so you lose. The question is, how do we want to get our victory? Can you hit a triple? You can't really hit a triple. Which ones go first? This one? I mean, I do want you to be in that. Well, isolate these guys over there. They'll pretty much be forced to attack you. You think Crash Bomb works? Probably not, but it's worth a shot. And it'll do decent damage even if it doesn't work. But would have it actually had hit. Should we, I don't know, should we ult? I don't think your ult is big enough, is it? It's big enough to hit these two? Then we follow up with a regular ult on Lloyd. That gets rid of those guys. Tio, you're fine. Tio, you're not fine. Tio, you're still fine. I thought that did no damage for a second. You heal us. Now, as soon as Lloyd gets to attack again, you're all dusted. Oh, look at that DiMaggio. Wazzy and Randy's combo craft actually does like a crazy amount of damage. It's actually probably better than Burning Rage. It's just that Lloyd's more consistently able to generate CP compared to Wazzy, at least in the role we've used Wazzy in. Phew, it did it. Impossible, impossible! Those Jaeger military monsters were defeated by mere state cops! Oh, you shouldn't be so quick to underestimate us. I'll give you that military monsters can be pretty damn ferocious, but they ain't gonna be much of a threat in the hands of a total amateur. Quit wasting our times and let us cuff you already. We were able to get more of him about the Red Constellation. He could even be our key to finding out where they disappeared to. I don't know, Tia Todd, that's probably giving them too much credit. Doubt they let some worthless-ass business partner know where they're hiding. A good point. Still, I wonder what it was that stopped the truck. Oh yeah. I thought I saw something like a lance crash right in front of it. Everyone stay alert. Huh? It is her. I guess he knows something about Ouroboros, so she can't be, she can't let him be arrested? Okay, so this quest actually became interesting all of a sudden. I mean, you know, getting Mineth was neat, but, I did not expect her to be involved in any way here. Which makes it even more annoying that A, this quest is so incredibly hidden, and there's like fucking 4 fail states, or 3 fail states. Or I guess really just the 2, but... I mean, I guess if you were to walk to Tangram Gate, you would also fail, so there's at least 3 fail states for it, which is pretty stupid, but... I'm pleased you had the skills to defeat those monsters. You made steady progress since first we met in the wetlands. Perhaps my assistance was not necessary. The ones you met before? The lance that hit the truck came from... I don't actually know how you say that. Aryanhad? The Steel Maiden? That was your name, yes? Why, what reason do you have to help us? Hey, no mind, I simply do not condone the actions of a man such as him. At times, mankind will commit unscrupulous deeds to survive at a world of war. However, it is uncouth to take advantage of the goodwill intended to help the injured. Does that mean you're just like following us that you know about this? There's no dignity in such actions. I cannot abide by such vulgar behavior. Are you saying you helped stop us, Mineth, because it was the right thing to do? Wow, it's a rather noble card to play coming from someone who's in a sketchy secret society. The sketchy secret society, the alternate version of the SSS? You may perceive it as you wish. Farewell. We shall meet again, should you improve yourselves even further. I suggest you do so, unless you wish to see your fallen bodies reflected in the sheen of my lance. Fucking bring it, lady.
それではまた。
I got no fear. We beat Sigmund, we'll beat you too. He's gone. You come all the way out here just to tell us that? What's up with that righteousness? Man, I don't give Ouroboros. What is for certain is that we cannot relax our guards. We never know when members of the society may be nearby. That's true. Guess they aren't called snakes for nothing. Pardon me, Lloyd, but shouldn't we make the arrest now? I believe mulling over this will get us any further. Yeah, I agree. Should we request backup from the CGF just in case? They're stretched a bit thin, but I think they could send someone out to pick up an arrest at the very least. Good idea. Mind putting in the call, Noel? Lloyd and the others then had Myth transported to the CBD headquarters. Soon after, they relayed what had happened to Billy and Ricardo, who were waiting at the airport. Finally, they and Billy made their way to St. Rosa Hospital. I was shocked when Ricardo first called me from the airport. I never imagined he was calling to tell me he couldn't deliver the medical supplies. The fact that someone would try and steal them is reprehensible. There truly are some despicable people in the world. Yes, but let's be glad the medical goods were delivered in the end. You'll be able to better treat the wounded patients with what you secured. We're in your debt again, SSS. Thank you. Please, we're only doing our jobs. No way we're gonna let a cowardly opportunist get away like that. And I'd rather not be thanked when we needed a knight in shining armor to bail us out in the end. Knight in what? It's a long story. Do not think too much about it. Yeah, what matters is that your supplies are where they should be. Let us know if there's anything more we can do to help. We always will, SSS. Thank you again. Hey, you have my appreciation too. You guys are alright. And alright, that is, that's that quest. I guess I'm going to redo the Yona dungeon just so that we, get to keep this as official. As an official thing we did. I mean, I could just reload now that we've shown it off, but, you know, I mean, it's not like it really matters or anything. All we really got is just some money and detective points. It's not like it's a quest from the first game where it might potentially be referenced in a sequel or something, but I mean, I assume the Cold Steel stuff doesn't have, like, you know, save transfers or whatever, and even if they would, you know, none of these characters show up in at least the first one, or, I mean, I know the characters show back up in the later ones, but I don't know the specifics of it, or at least some of the characters do, but, I mean, much like the same way it is for, like, the Trails of the Side characters in, this game, where, I guess about half of the main party members showed back up. It's really just, like, Agate and Zen that get no respect. Ooh. Freaking flying bug or something. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Something must have flown in when I opened the door earlier. But the problem's done with now. The crisis averted. What was I? I don't even remember what I was saying. Yes. I guess we're... Oh yeah, I was talking about, like, just save data and stuff like that. You know, it's not like it really matters that, like, we do this quest for, like, a canon or anything, but, you know, I'll go ahead and redo the Yona dungeon just to make it official. That does mean that we're probably just going to end the video here. I think we're at about 50 minutes, so it's not like it's really, like, that early or anything. But, yeah, in the next video, we will pick back up on day 2 of Chapter 4. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.